Pride makes a person admire himself too much, thinking his talents or successes come only from his own abilities. Jesus condemned pride in the story of the Pharisee and the tax collector. He said that the humble, sorry tax collector was forgiven by God, while the proud Pharisee was not. Covetousness, or loving money too much, is also a terrible sin. Judas fell into this sin. He loved money so much that he betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Pride means loving your own greatness too much or thinking too highly of yourself. Jesus is the perfect example of gentleness and patience. Even though he had the power to punish his enemies, he didn't. He suffered on the cross until he died. God is patient with sinners every day and gives them time to change. Even though God is the highest of all beings, he is not proud. 1. A proud person thinks he is better than he really is and believes he created his own talents. Humility, which helps us admit our limits, is the opposite of pride. Some people are proud of their looks, family, talents, money, or the good qualities they think they have. Even if we really do have good gifts, we should not brag about them, because everything comes from God. Instead, we should thank God and use our gifts for good. Every proud man is an abomination to the Lord. Prov. 16:5. 2. Pride is called the mother of all sins, because most sins begin with pride. From pride come ambition, vanity, bragging, disobedience, hypocrisy, and stubbornness. Pride is the beginning of all sin. Echolas. 10:15. Pride caused Adam and Eve to fall, because they wanted to be like God. Pride led Pharaoh to refuse Moses, even after many miracles. Because of this, God hardened his heart, meaning God allowed him to resist grace. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord has rejected thee. 1 Kings chapter 15 verse 26. 3. A proud person tries to get attention and praise. He wants honors and special treatment. He trusts too much in himself and ignores God's help. Pride was the sin of Lucifer. A proud person pretends to be greater than he is and may even act humble, just to get more praise. 4. God hates pride and punishes it seriously. Sometimes he punishes hidden pride by taking away his help. Without God, the proud person falls into serious sin and is humbled. The beginning of the pride of man is to fall off from God. Echolas. 10:14. God resists the proud. 1 Pet. 5:5. Everyone who exalts himself shall be humbled. Luke chapter 14 verse 11. King Herod died eaten by worms. The mighty Roman Empire eventually fell. Jesus pointed out the pride of the Pharisee and praised the humble tax collector. 5. However, if we look down on sin because it is evil and beneath human dignity, that is not pride, it is good self-respect. Caring about cleanliness and neatness is not vanity. Working hard to be excellent in good things, like school or skills, is a good use of God's gifts. God wants us to grow in virtue. Covetousness means loving wealth and possessions too much and wanting more than we need. 1. Covetousness is also called avarice. A covetous person wants more money or possessions than necessary and is never satisfied. He clings tightly to what he has and hates giving to others. Judas betrayed Jesus for money. There is not a more wicked thing than to love money. Echolas. 10:10. Guard yourselves from all covetousness. Luke chapter 12 verse 15. Both rich and poor people can be covetous. Some rich people are generous, and some poor people love money even if they don't have any. 2. Covetousness leads to other sins like being hard-hearted toward the poor, lying, cheating, charging unfair interest, and cheating workers. Those who seek to become rich fall into temptation. 1 Tim. 6-9-10. Covetousness destroys faith because greedy people become too focused on money to care about their souls. 3. Saving for the future or for one's family is good. Avoiding waste is also good. Gathering wealth honestly is not wrong. But the rich must remember to use their blessings for God's glory, not for selfish pride. 4. Generosity, the right use of worldly goods, is the opposite of covetousness. The greedy person is foolish. He works hard only to be disliked, and he risks losing his soul. When he dies, he leaves everything behind. For when he shall die, he shall take nothing away. Ps. 48-18. Lust means seeking sinful and excessive bodily pleasure. 1. Lust harms a person more deeply than almost any other sin. It lowers a person to the level of animals. Pride was the sin of Lucifer, greed the sin of Judas, and lust the sin of the flesh. Lust is often severely punished even in this life. It ruins health and judgment. It helped bring about the flood, and it caused God to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. But immorality, let it not even be named among you. Ephes. 5-3. 2. When tempted to lust, remember that people are made in the image of God. Why throw that away to act like an animal? Even animals act by instinct, they do not have immortal souls. Lust weakens the will and clouds the mind. That is why it is hard to overcome. Solomon fell into lust and eventually lost his wisdom and even began worshipping false gods. 3. Lust leads to jealousy, hatred, murder, loss of faith, despair, selfishness, and many other sins. Henry VIII is an example. Lust led him to break from the church, which pulled a whole nation away from the faith. No immoral or unclean person has any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ. Ephes. 5-5. 4. Sodomy, or sexual sins between people of the same sex, is another form of lust.